Nate Bargatze.
It's a lot to have two dogs because you got to open the back door and let two dogs out.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour, Casey's Center, Friday, April 24th. Tickets available at natebargatze.com.
Party.
What's up? I'm Jake Bren with Bigger Than 12, joined by my co-host Derek Duke, where every Sunday we break down the Big 12 Conference.
We'll recap the full day in the Big 12 and look ahead to next week.
We talk a lot of Iowa State, but it's not just Cyclones. We go from Morgantown to Salt Lake City and everywhere in between. Be sure to check out Bigger Than 12 every Sunday here on Iowa Everywhere.
Murph and Andy, talking sports and more, exclusively on Iowa Everywhere. From the Channel Seed Studios, here are Keith Murphy and Andy Fales.
And we're glad to be with you here on a Monday in what is the final week for home football games for Iowa and Iowa State. Can you believe that?
I mean, I know I've realized it. I've talked about it. It just hasn't sunk in yet. Wow.
Yeah, let that sink in. State football championships begin Thursday and go through the weekend. So Thanksgiving around the corner. We are getting there. By the way, just had a friend text this. It is hard to believe. He's up in Minnesota. So yesterday, Iowa played Minnesota in volleyball. And Minnesota beat the Hawkeyes for the 50th straight time. Not 15th. 50th. 5-0. How is that possible? How could you lose 50 straight volleyball matches to Minnesota if you're Iowa? I can't fathom that. It was 5 sets.
It appears there would be an imbalance between the two programs.
But 1 year, like in 1992, Nebraska went into Iowa State, and somehow Iowa State won that football game with marvelous Marv Seiler. I mean, upsets happen.
Yeah.
How can you lose 50 in a row?
Is Minnesota a great volleyball program?
AD, take this one.
Apparently.
Are they though? I mean, I thought
they
like
must
Nebraska was the best one in the Big Ten. I mean, is Iowa the worst?
I'm learning right now that Iowa has a volleyball program.
Yeah, so. That's a little indicator right there. Maybe. That's incredible. You think 1 year?
That is.
There's just 1 year something happened.
It's incredible the wrong way. Guesthouse Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for sports and more. And coming up today, GroundHawks Day, Cyclones versus who? And more. Andy said he's got a spectacular more-team plan today. Thanks for putting in the work for that, Andy.
Did I say that? I did not say that.
Guesthouse Tavern with nightly specials.
It'll be a good segment, as it always is.
That includes Kentucky Fried Tuesdays, fried chicken, and sides, half off select bourbon and whiskey pours. Now, high or low since our last show Friday.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Let Tim Hawkins and Company make your money work as hard as it possibly can for you. Let him make sure that your retirement portfolio is all set up to succeed. You can drop in at wealthcharterretirement.com. They're just up there in Ankeny.
Take care of us, Tim Hawkins. You're our only hope.
Yeah, he'll give you a good shot at things working out in the future. I had a really good Friday night. While you were stuck at the Unidome, I went out on the town.
Oh,
with friends. We had a really good time. Went to Oak Park for dinner, which it's really expensive, but it's amazing. I'm impressed that place has done so well. Just so often when restaurants open, really high-end restaurants open, and they pour a lot into this great big opening and make all these great hires, and then just sort of the newness wears out, and then the wind slowly leaves their sails. That has not happened at Oak Park. It continues to just kill it. And
how long's it been open? Because when
2 years, I think.
Jenny and I went there, the wait was still a couple of months for a good eating time.
Yeah, we had to make a reservation a couple of months in advance for this one.
Sure.
I'd actually kind of forgotten that we had the reservation, but it was it was amazing. It was great. And then Nick Tillinghast, who's a friend of mine and is a bar owner here, he texted and said, "Hey, I'm doing a soft opening of the new Des Moines Athletic Club. Would you come down and check it out?" And
that place looks so cool.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. It's down on Walnut or Locust.
It's next to, like, near the Potbelly, right? Near the Potbelly sandwich place?
Yeah, which is on which street?
That is
it's Walnut or
Right?
Locust. Yeah, it's Walnut or I think it's Locust, yeah. It is right across the street from Hello Marjorie, which is another one of Nick's bars. He also owns Secret Admirer, south of the courthouse, and then he owns Good News Darling, which is the speakeasy back behind Hello Marjorie, and he really knows what he's doing. Really,
he does good, unique themes, and you have a particular feeling at each particular bar.
Yeah, really careful about what he does. Well, this is in the Equitable building, and he lives in that building, and so he literally walks around to each of his bars each night to check on them, do little things, which is just really smart. I mean, you know that if you own those establishments, you've just got to be there all the time. So he set them up in areas that he could walk to. And this one is right at the bottom of the building he lives in. They totally redid the space. It was abandoned. It was empty, and they redid it. And it doesn't look like a typical sports bar. It's like a unique sports bar. It's smaller. And it is really, I mean, we were there for a soft opening, so it wasn't crowded, but it was really neat. I really liked it. And then when I was there, I was informed, unbeknownst to me, that we will actually be there with our show on December 12th.
Worlds collide. Yeah. I was informed of the same thing. We stopped by, it's walking distance from here, Splash, for a cocktail last Thursday. We stopped in there, got something to eat, and the bartender said, "Hey, I hear you're doing a show from the Athletic next month." And I said, "I am?"
I heard that story when I was there at the Des Moines Athletic Club. They were like, I said, Murph was just as surprised as you were. I mean, it's a good surprise. I knew we are doing a series of live shows in December, and they're going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be kind of at random places, and I think everybody is going to get a kick out of them. I'm just not sure what all the places are yet. Maybe that's better.
Yeah.
Right? We get a little of the surprise.
Let me know where
too.
To be. Tell me before the day, but
we will be at the Des Moines Athletic Club, though, and that will be really, really fun. So hopefully people will come down and see us then. And you can check out this new bar. It is, again, it does have TVs, which none of Nick's other bars have any TVs. So this is big for him. But it's got some really cool, unique Iowa sports memorabilia. Some of it is original, some of it he had made. But I think just looking up at the stuff at the walls is going to be entertaining, but also a really good beer and, of course, the great cocktails that his bars always have. So we are looking forward to that. December 12th, we will be there.
I'm going to go high, too. Go back to last Friday. You mentioned it, state semifinals. In football, it was a pleasure to do these games with Justin Surnsey. Had a new crew there. They were really welcoming, helped me out a lot because it's a different experience when you're with a completely different setup. Mm-hmm. They were very nice, friendly. It was fun to be in the Unidome. It's so loud there. I could barely hear anything when we were doing the podcast there before we started the back-to-back games. Chris Cuellar and the Iowa High School Athletic Association made everything first class for us. Just had a good experience. And the Valley Dowling game, as it always seems to be, came down to a final possession. And happens so many times, the team that won the first meeting doesn't win the second meeting. Just like last year, it flips. So it's Dowling advances to the championship game where most of us thought Dowling or Valley would play Northwest. That's not the case. Iowa City Liberty pulls off the upset against Waukee Northwest. So, Andy, I know you said you were rooting for Valley and Northwest. That was a rough night for you and your high school football fandom. 0-2 that night because Liberty has a quarterback. He's about 5'7" or 8", and, man, he is fun to watch. Reese Reddig is his name, and he was the difference in that late game. And, man, the Lightning dominated Northwest. So that was fun. And then I finally got the invite, the one that everyone in Iowa media hopes to one day score. I got invited to Woodley's Pub, which was, I don't know, a dream come true, I guess is the way I'd put it.
That the one in his garage?
It is his garage, yes. And,
okay, gosh, he's really done a lot with that. That looks it looks like a pub.
I was invited to sign the ceiling tile along with David Warrington, who somehow got this honor at age 24. Took me nearly 40 years to get invited to Woodley's Pub, but I got in there.
You don't travel much.
Yeah, I don't get into the Dyke area a lot. That's true. And the only rule in signing the ceiling is no genitalia. So that was a fun night and just a good Friday. And then, Saturday leads us to the Buzz. Let's catch the Buzz and get into that.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Logier Heating and Cooling now with a humidifier being provided to our home here, unbeknownst to me until last week. So thank you, Logier Heating and Cooling. Iowa loses its 4th game of the season to a top 25 team by a total of 15 points, all 4 games, and all were one-possession games. This is one of the all-time what-if seasons for the Iowa Hawkeyes. No longer routed by good teams, as has been the case the past few years, but just Andy can't get over the hump.
Which is crazy because this game looked like Iowa. I felt just so wrong about this game, going in. I thought it was going to be Iowa was off rhythm and, this wasn't a place that was familiar to them and an opponent that was familiar, and they just didn't have a feel for this. They were so good in the first half of this game, and they opened up in that horrible conditions, but they looked razor sharp. The offense, I can't remember the last time I saw an Iowa offense look this good. And the defense was playing well too. I mean, they were building up style points on USC, and that crowd looked absolutely miserable.
Yeah, and there was what they announced the crowd at 65,000, which is a joke.
No,
maybe 30,000. It was like half empty, and
half of it you can't sit there. Like it's all tarped off. Miserable conditions. Props to those who didn't cancel and ended up going to the game anyway, and that includes some people from Iowa. I know we had some friends that went out there. Yeah, you could hear them in part because there weren't that many USC fans there, but you had to have a close-up shot to see just how miserable it was. I mean, it was pouring the entire game. They were in a flood watch in L.A. for the entire day. And you're right, though, Andy. Iowa looked as sharp as Iowa has looked in a long time in that first half. Iowa's offense looked like it was playing in a dome. I mean, the weather wasn't a factor at all. They just imaginative play calling, good execution. I did think it was over at 21-7. I thought they had it. Still able to throw the ball and catch the ball, and both sides were. That was really impressive given those conditions. But every now and then somebody would, hit the ground, and you get a replay of that, and you would just see like the water and mud just splash up off of that turf, and they'd get up and their jersey was just soaked all the way through to the skin, and you're reminded that the conditions were awful on a natural grass field there.
Yeah, they're squeegeeing the water off before the game.
They had like the P&P small engine blowers out there just blowing like it was going to go anywhere, right? I mean, the humidity was like 100%. It wasn't evaporating or anything, but they were just trying to move it. But I just thought, oh my God, they have got a chokehold on them, and in these conditions, they're not going to be able to come back. So I was I was ready to really just kind of mentally check out of this game because it looked like Iowa just had it.
Did not, as it turns out. Let's get to the nostalgia rewind if AD's up for it. AD, are you up for this?
No.
Okay, number 21, Iowa against number 17, USC, and Iowa took the opening kickoff and marched right down the field.
Rolling out right as Gronowski throws downfield, caught at the 30, still in bounds, 20, 15, 10, rolled out of bounds. Jacob Gill. Here's Gronowski, a rollout right. Gronowski's looking, fires, caught, touchdown. Touchdown, Dayton Howard.
So that's Gary Dolphin, courtesy of Learfield. Gary, of course, the voice of the Hawkeyes. So Mark Gronowski missed a lot of throws in this game, but, man, he made some really good throws, too. And on that opening drive, that pass to Gill, that was a thing of beauty. And then even the touch on the touchdown pass there. Great start.
2 passes right there that we have not seen out of this offense in a long time. And you just didn't think that this offense was capable of that kind of stuff anymore. And all of a sudden, I mean, that was just kind of a backyard football play. I like what the announcer said about that. I mean, the touchdown there where he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to run around, try to hit somebody that's open, hit him with a really difficult pass and good catch in those conditions. And just look like you're just like, man, I was going to do this. They're still this checked into the season. This is going to be fun.
Speaking of the announcers, I did not know those guys. Usually I know at least one of the broadcasters. Did you know them? Did you,
Nope.
AD?
No, and Chris Hassel said the guy who was supposed to be on play-by-play, his wife had a kid, so they had to call up a guy in L.A. who's like normally a sideline reporter, not a play-by-play guy, and really not even like an analyst, to come in and do play-by-play. And then the color guy was like a Pac-12 holdover that's kind of joined the Big Ten network. And so if it felt like it was USC slanted, it absolutely was. And the whole broadcast, I mean, the whole day, the camera angles were kind of weird. Mm-hmm. The fact that there was no crowd there. Mm-hmm. It was like Iowa had these huge games against Indiana and Oregon, and they felt like big games. And this felt like going in an equally big game. It's a top
different
20
feel.
It really did. It felt like a September game that had nothing on the line. It was just a strange broadcast overall.
Yeah, and to your point about if it had like a Pac-12 type feel to it, I was aware of this Friday night when, just thinking, I know a lot more about Waukee Northwest than I do Iowa City Liberty, and you do have to be aware that we tend to talk about what we know more. It makes sense. Early in the second quarter, Mark Gronowski continued his streak of rushing touchdowns.
Here's Gronowski fighting for the goal line. And now, there it is, touchdown Iowa. Gronowski came out from the bottom of the pile.
He is the only player in FBS to score a rushing touchdown in every single game this season.
Yeah, so he's got the passing touchdown and the rushing touchdown at that point.
Yeah, things are going well. And then before halftime, execution of a trick play to the point where Kirk Ferentz almost started laughing.
A double reverse. Vandersea throws to Gronowski. Touchdown, Iowa. Touchdown, Iowa. And a thing of beauty. He flipped it to Weegan. Vandersea ran right at Weegan. Weegan dropped it in his mitts. And Vandersea throws it to Gronowski, who was standing in the end zone.
He's about to special.
He's starting to cry there, is what he was doing.
That was crying? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, he's getting emotional. No, he was starting to cry. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's a thing of beauty.
Well, he's crying a lot these days.
He's emotional.
Yeah, he is emotional. I think when you get older that stuff gets it bubbles to the surface a little easier. But I mean, who knows what he's thinking? I mean, he's thinking about how far the offense has come, and it doesn't take a lot for him to get real emotional. That's what we love about him. But I think I was just kind of wondering. I was just like, was he thinking to himself, oh my God,
never seen a play like that.
I haven't seen a play like that since 8th grade. Or just
it was.
Like,
it was beautiful.
How far has this offense come? We're on a
Philly
double reverses
special.
and throwing in the back of the end zone to the quarterback. Yeah,
Vandersea was a high school quarterback, and they've been practicing that a lot. Yeah. And man, it wasn't even
good.
That badly defended. It was just executed really well. So that's really the last highlight for Iowa. USC scores 19 unanswered points. Iowa threw an unlucky ricochet interception, although Gronkowski threw it maybe held on to it. He said himself, a half second or so too long, caused the ricochet. Inches away from keeping the hopes alive late in the game with the controversial Weegan catch, no catch, out of bounds, inbounds. But in the end, it's another close loss for the Hawks, 26-21, the final. Let's talk about that catch for a moment, Andy. This was the subject of your What's Bugging Andy. I also touched upon Murphy's Law last night on Sound Off with this. It immediately, it was like a confirmation bias exhibit where any Hawkeye fan you could see said, he's in. He's in. You can see he's clearly in. And any Trojan fan's reaction was, he's out. His toe's on the line. It's plain as day. How can you not see that? When I watched the replay, like in real time, I really didn't know. It was so close. I couldn't imagine that he got his foot down. And I watched the replay. I was surprised how close it was, but I thought his toe was slightly on the line. Just ever so close, but on the line.
I did too, but when I watched it in real time and, from the original angle that we were viewing it from, I thought he was way out of bounds. I was like, okay, there's no way. I mean, his momentum carried him out of bounds. The defensive back is pushing him out of bounds, and he couldn't possibly have gotten his foot down in time with full possession. Wrong. He made full possession immediately as soon as he touched that ball and immediately got one of his feet down, which is another testament. I'm consistently blown away by how incredible receivers at this level in the NFL have gotten, how good they've gotten at getting their feet in bounds, controlling their bodies. It's like they're playing the drums. I mean, they're doing two different things. Now, I did get this picture from a number of people, and I did What's Bugging Andy on this, and I will say that I don't buy this picture. I think somebody has messed with this picture. It is not real. I don't believe this.
If they drew a little green in front of his toe there.
There's a little curve of green around his foot there, a little indentation in the white on the sidelines. But this, everybody bought this. They wanted this to be true. But I mean, that's the way it is now. I see a picture and I don't believe it anymore because I know all that can be done by, any idle mind. And they don't need any advanced equipment, technology, or training. They can do it on their phone.
We know guys who are really good at it.
Hassel has gotten us so many times. And I just don't buy it anymore. I'm not listening to the boy who cried wolf anymore.
He was so disappointed at Halloween because he had this NASCAR outfit on, but I thought it was AI. I thought he had just said, put me in a NASCAR outfit. I didn't realize he had actually gone to the trouble of wearing a NASCAR outfit for his Halloween costume, and he wanted some credit for it.
You just don't believe
and
him
everybody
anymore.
just ignored him because it thought like, well, you spent 10 seconds on ChatGPT or something making yourself into a NASCAR costume.
I was waiting for a blade of grass to come up and flip me off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's happened a lot lately.
Eric the Orange sent that to me, and I looked at that, and I was like, okay, I don't believe this. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, he sent this. He probably posted it on Twitter also. He sent this because he is an Illinois fan who is trying to get under the skin of, trying to rev up the Iowa fans and make them get just stoke the fires of chaos.
And they didn't need much help as it was.
Don't believe that.
They were in their feelings. The other part of a picture like that too is if you literally catch the foot one frame, not 1 second, one frame before the toe hits the ground, you're in a different spot than you are when contact is actually made. Yeah. So I think there was also some photos circulating where his foot hadn't touched the ground yet, but it appeared in the photo as
it's totally in
it
bounds then.
The ground.
Yeah.
If he just had a half shoe size smaller, it's a catch. He just needed smaller feet. Get those feet down.
It was 4th and 6. When's the last Iowa team that could have even attempted that play?
It's
that's
a bold
unbelievable.
Play on 4th down to try that. And Weegan, I'm sure he felt like he had to jump, but when you do jump, with the way the rules are now, you do risk getting pushed all the way out of bounds where you can't get your feet in. Now, he almost made it, but that's Brian Urlacher's son who came up and just gave him the full shove to try to get him out of bounds, and did get him out of bounds by the slightest of margins.
And again, this is in horrible conditions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he almost got that done, it just blows my mind.
Gronkowski made the more difficult passes easier than he made the easy passes. Like he made a couple of really challenging passes look easy, and then he made some really easy passes look hard. You know, in the ground, wide, too high. He's inconsistent with his consistency, with his accuracy, but he's way better than anybody's Iowa's had for a while, and they're only going to get 1 year of them. That's a problem. After the game, more what-if pain for the Hawks.
We've had 10 opportunities. These guys have prepared each and every week, and they've come out and played their off, quite frankly. And, they did that today. I mean, this is a good football team. Road trip, all those things you can use as a crutch. And our guys showed up and competed. It just wasn't good enough today. And
no, just being a competitor, losing sucks. So like you don't want to lose again. So like coming into next week, we still got the same mentality that we're gonna put in the work day by day and hopefully come out with the win next time.
Losing sucks. True statement. It's close, but just a close but no cigar season for the Hawkeyes. I feel like this has been more fun. I guess I need to check in with somebody who, like Andrew, who this actually does cause mental anguish when this keeps happening. But to me, to play these good teams, to have these interesting games, to have them come down to the final drive, of course you want Iowa to win 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of these. But isn't this better than what you've seen the past few years, or no?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a more fun season. You feel good about this team and kind of where the program is headed. But it's the bad thing is, because we know Iowa's better, right? Iowa is better than they were a couple of years ago. They're not getting routed by these teams. They're so close. But it doesn't matter if you don't actually win one of these games, and the national narrative is going to be the same as it always has been. Iowa's offense isn't good enough to beat good teams. Doesn't matter if you lose by 50 or you lose by 5. And for that to now carry over through the offseason, when you had 4 opportunities this year and you felt really good about all 4 of them, it's kind of wild they went 0-4 in those games. And now, again, this narrative continues through another offseason, through another change in quarterback, through a bunch of seniors, especially on the offensive and defensive line, graduating and moving on. And you feel like you had such a great opportunity this season, and it all kind of went away.
It's 13 straight. I mean, that's a bad. It's not Nebraska level, but it's a bad losing streak to top 25 teams. So you're right. Going to keep hearing.
It hurts more this year than like getting winning 10 games with Deacon Hill and getting blown out in the Big Ten championship. This hurts more than it did. But yeah, it's been way more exciting. You've been way more invested as a fan. This is what you want. You want to see where you stack up against teams like this, even if you don't actually win one of these games, and you feel like it's going to make the program better in the long run. So yeah, I would take this over a year like 2 years ago.
And I think that this is one of those games that for Hawkeye fans that were watching it was a really aggravating game to watch. It was one that really pissed them off. Some really bad calls, no calls in this game.
There were. And you hate to talk about the officiating because
you do, but
everyone who talks, every fan, it's true of all fan bases. When they talk about the officiating, they feel justified because they're like, no, in our case, these were bad calls. This really did hurt the team. But when their rivals do it, it's because they're whining and they blame the officials and they're pathetic. We've seen Hawkeye fans slamming Cyclone fans for blaming the officiating and vice versa. Everyone feels justified when they feel like the officials screwed them over. That's just fandom. I mean, that's the way that goes. But there were, like, Harry Moulton was spun around by his face mask and there was no call. You could see that from 100 feet. I don't understand how a call like that could be missed.
Well, and then more importantly, I mean, you can connect the dots on these. I mean, the very next play, rather than having a 1st and 10 across the 50, they got 3rd and long, and you have that weird ricochet interception there that USC took down and turned into points. So I mean, right there. I mean, that's the difference in the game. It could have been. I mean, it's too early. You don't know what was going to happen. But
there were some bad calls.
There were,
no
and
doubt.
there were bad calls going the other way too, or weird calls. There were. I didn't see any as egregious as that. There was another face mask against Iowa that was missed. Also, there were actually two of them. Then there's that weird call where it looked like Iowa had turned over the ball deep in their own territory, but there were offsetting penalties, and so they replayed the down. The refs called defensive holding on a guy who wasn't even on the field. So number 15, not on the field. There was no 15. If he called it, if he got 25 called and by mistake or something, he was so far down the field. I don't see how there could have been holding before the actual turnover. He was too far down the field, and it was a bang play that led to the turnover. So you could just look at that and you're like, how do the officials make that crazy non-call and then they miss two egregious calls right in front of their face, right around the ball. This other call was nowhere. It was 40 yards away from the ball. The play that they missed, though, or the call they missed, the guy is literally holding the ball.
They even threw a flag on the Weechin out of bounds. He got hit out of bounds after a punt or a kick return.
Why was that picked up?
Why was that picked up?
What are you doing?
I mean, he kind of did the Patrick Mahomes thing where you're in and then you hop out real quick and then somebody hits you and you
the guy did hit him. Yeah,
it was
he hit him.
He was.
That's why you do it.
They
Because
threw the flag. Yeah, they picked it up. You're like, why? Why did you pick that up? And then at that point, I thought a few of those times you could see the greenness of the broadcast crew, right? Well, they didn't go into it. They didn't really pick that apart. They just kind of moved on quickly. And I understand they're trying to call it for both teams, but that's interesting football talk when you have, the broadcast crew, they dial into Dean Blandino or whoever is, doing the ref's eye view or whatever. That's interesting broadcast to me. And they just kind of moved on.
In the end of the game, any chance, and it would have been a far-fetched chance, but any chance Iowa had to get the ball back and just take a shot downfield, that ends when an Iowa assistant coach gets an unsportsmanlike conduct, but we never get any explanation or any replay. Now, maybe it was words. Now, Kirk Ferentz ended up saying, I think it was Seth Wallace, crossed the line and went onto the field, so that's what it was about. But that wasn't shown on a replay. Yeah. My immediate speculation was, because I know what sidelines sound like, and they're just like in the movie Bull Durham, there are things you can't say that will get you a penalty. I figured it was probably something said because we weren't seeing a replay and there was no discussion from the announcers. Mm-hmm. So there was also that. Andy, you're right. There were some calls missed both ways. I think it probably hurt Iowa more than it did USC. But bottom line, you have to score. You can't go the entire second half without scoring a point and win on the road against a talented USC team who has a good quarterback, has a couple of good receivers, and has one great receiver. Man, Mekhi Lemon, that guy looks
great.
like an NFL receiver.
They were all good. And again, this was during pouring rain. Yeah. He was throwing the ball to these guys, and they just perfect hands every time. I mean, those gloves are good. I mean, the glove technology has come a long way. But still, I mean, that's just a lot of hand strength, a lot of just coordination. I mean, Iowa had some good coverage on a lot of those passes. But Maeva, is that the name of the quarterback? He was really good. I mean, he had his moments where he looked like a pro.
Iowa blew a 14-point lead for the first time in more than 30 games. South Carolina blew a 27-point lead to Texas A&M. That game was 30-3. It blows me away. You could lose a game after being up 30-3, but it happened. That's the Nostalgia Rewind. It is presented by Barntown's Nostalgia THC Fruit Seltzers. We have a quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale, and this is a poll that is not here because we think that there's any possibility of this. Just want to get your take on it because Mark Gronowski, as long as he's healthy, will start these games for Iowa.
This is an inside Iowa fans poll here, but I'm interested in it.
Yeah, with the college football playoff dream dead, who should Iowa now play at quarterback? Is it Mark Gronowski? He's earned it. Or is it Hecklinski or Brown? Play for the future. Start getting ready for next year. And there is a part of me that thinks like that, right? Hey, I do want to see what Jeremy Hecklinski can do with this team. And if you can give him a couple of games against Big Ten schools, games that you could probably win with him at quarterback, maybe that is the smartest thing to do. But man, Mark Gronowski has won our hearts over as Hawkeye fans. I think the way he acted after being injured in Indiana and working so hard to get back on the field, kind of opposite from what we saw from Cade McNamara a year ago. And the cynical people, I think, were, Mark Gronowski, he's a hired hand, right? He came here to up his draft status and make a couple $1 million, and he doesn't really care that much about Iowa. But he's proven over the last 10 games that's not the case. And so I fully want him leading this team out for the next 3 games. Hopefully he'll play in the bowl game. And he has absolutely earned the right to win a few, put a couple of more stats into his historic college career.
It will be him, and you make all good points. Devil's advocate on this, Andy, this is Mark Gronowski's 5th full season. The meaningful games are now in the rear view, and the one-and-done quarterback does create problems for your team the next season when you have to launch somebody right into the game against Iowa State who doesn't have much experience. So do you give any thought to this?
Well, I mean, I might give some thought to it, but, 2 things. This is not what Kirk Ferentz does. He doesn't do this. Right?
No,
he doesn't do this when, it seems like there can't possibly be a reason not to. He still doesn't do it. But then also, you can't plan for the future anymore in college football and Division I college football. You can't. I mean, you're stupid to plan for the future. You play. You
don't really
now.
know who's going to be there.
You don't know who's going to be on your team next year, and you may get some guy in there that's way better than both those guys. I'm sure that's what fans want. They want him to go shopping for somebody else. They want to find another Mark Gronowski. Mark Gronowski is an exciting player. We have really enjoyed watching him play quarterback for the Hawkeyes this year. I want to see
he's likable.
More of him. He's likable. Yeah, he does a number of things. He's a multi-sport talent, basically, multi-discipline talent. He's the guy that I want to see until he just has no more eligibility left at Iowa, and then you have to move on. And then when you do move on, I wouldn't say that you're necessarily moving on to these other 2 guys anyway.
Interact with others on YouTube. On X, it is Murph_Andy. The email is Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. Powered by Cellular Advantage, where you can get the best of T-Mobile's #1 ranked national plan and Iowa's #1 ranked U.S. Cellular Advantage plan. We have some more hot topics here. Let's take a look at ESPN's playoff chances now that Iowa and Iowa State, the dream is dead for both. Let's see. As you look at this, and the Oklahoma win over Alabama has kind of changed projections here. But, Andy, it appears as though we will have 5 SEC teams, as it looks, after Oklahoma beat Alabama 23-21. Then you're going to get 3 Big Ten teams. You're definitely going to have Indiana and Ohio State. And then probably the USC-Oregon winner. That game is coming up this weekend. You'll have 1 independent. Notre Dame has the 2 losses, but they're going to be in, barring an upset. 1 ACC, 1 Big 12, 1 group of 5 will get into this.
And 1 team with the greatest media bathroom in the world.
You think you want James Madison in?
Yeah.
Isn't it James Madison?
Yeah, that's James Madison. Don't you want him in?
Well, if the game is home and I could go cover it and sit on that toilet, sure.
I just think having that toilet gives them, good argument to have made it into the college football playoff.
Maybe they could take away they could take away the old joke, like you would hear from, I think it was more commonly Hawkeye fans about Iowa State, Well, you guys, you won your 6th game. You're going to the toilet bowl. Yeah, have the toilet bowl there. I mean, to really showcase that glorious toilet in the media room.
That's one of the first that's a sports burn that you figure out like in third grade.
The toilet bowl.
Really
There it
early.
is.
Yeah, the toilet
Look
bowl.
at that. It's not a very nice toilet, though, is it? It looks like an industrial.
It's a little small.
It's small and it doesn't look especially new.
Ventilation
or
is
comfortable.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
Look at that.
It's a
Nice
good
high
location.
ceiling. Got the toilet paper there. Right
Imagine
there.
if you're sitting in the top row of stands, right outside that window.
Don't
Not a
really
lot of-
need any reading material.
Are
Just
those
watch the
some
game.
blinds that you could pull down? It looks like some blinds there. If you
Yeah,
really
probably.
want to, you could pull the blinds down, even
Pull
though
the
the
blinds
next
down.
window is still wide open.
In this college football playoff, it feels like BYU should probably be in. You see what BYU did to TCU this
Yeah.
weekend? But I don't see how this sets up. Texas Tech's going to be in. BYU's down there projected at 14 at this point. I suppose could win the Big 12 championship game and make a case for both to get in, but looks like it could be one bid again. But
It's a bunch
BYU's
of teams
top
I'm not
12 team.
interested in watching. In the
Who do you
college
not want to
football
see?
play. I don't care about Texas A&M or Georgia or Tech or Ole Miss. Or Ole Miss has got Lane Kiffin. I'm interested in that. Interested in Oregon. Don't care about
where he
Alabama.
is next year.
Notre Dame is always interesting. James Madison and their toilet.
Look
Don't
at
care about
Texas.
Oklahoma or Utah. Huh?
Texas preseason number 1. Now it's 17th.
But jeez,
That's crazy.
While A&M and Tech are both in. Jeez. Yeah.
Brock Purdy returned, and he had a great game against the Cardinals. The 49ers win 41-22, very much in the playoff picture. Purdy was 19 of 26 for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 2 touchdowns to George Kittle. And here's Kittle after the game on what Purdy means to the Niners.
I think I've only said this about 2 quarterbacks. Like Brock's presence in the huddle is just so elite, and how he talks to the players, my wife's calling me. Yep, it's my wife. I'm so sorry. Don't tell her I ignored her call. I'm gonna get in trouble. But like he plays the game with this joy that's so infectious, and it's just so much fun to play football with him. And I mean, especially like 5 plays into the game, he hits me 30 yards down the field on a perfect pass. Like he was definitely feeling it. I think he's got the confidence. He's got his swagger. I mean, more people were celebrating with Brock after his touchdown pass than with me. I was a little jealous. But yeah, he was feeling it today. I will say the one pass to Christian on 3rd down was like that. Is like he clicked too many Madden buttons on his controller and just said screw it. And what a play by Christian. Goodness.
So cool. Kittle.
So fun to listen to.
Yeah, ignore your wife's call and then put it in public display like that at your own peril.
But also just an interesting answer that kind of tells you something that you didn't know about him in the huddle. I think that's cool. I think it's safe to say that there was no chance that the 49ers weren't going to Brock Purdy as he came back after you listen to that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean he's the leader of that team, and they look good. I mean it's the Cardinals, but the Niners look good, and they're still in the hunt.
John Sears was asking me last night. He's like, "You think the Chiefs make the playoffs?" And
If they make the
do.
playoffs, they can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's
they're
how I feel about
5-5, so it's a fair question. They're 5-5, but I'm still in the mindset of, well, yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I just can't imagine them not in the playoffs. So yes,
No, I can't
think
either.
they'll make the playoffs. Yeah, you're right. No one will want to play them.
Yeah, and they get in the playoffs. I think they can win the playoffs. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they can't keep losing games like this. I mean, they're falling way
That's
far
a fact.
behind. It's really pretty wide open right now. It feels like the Eagles and kind of everybody else.
The Patriots are
I don't believe them yet.
really good again, but they have had a soft schedule. Shadur Sanders finally played in an NFL game, and he looked like a Browns quarterback. He looked like a 5th-round draft pick. He looked like a 3rd-teamer. He was bad. His quarterback rating was 13.5 for the game. If you don't follow quarterback ratings, that's really low. It's a tough spot to be in, but I think some of his defenders expected when he came in, he would just light it up and make everybody think like, well, that's why he should have been the starter all along. He didn't look good.
He had that last drive, which I watched in its entirety, where they had a chance. Still, they weren't totally out of that game. And he made some plays with his legs. He had a good completion. He had 2 receivers drop his passes, which often happens when a quarterback has been inaccurate for a while, right? They don't, they're not always counting on the ball being where it needs to be. So maybe they're not prepared. And so when it does hit them in the hand, sometimes they drop it. But he showed enough flashes where I think he's still interesting, still tempting. You want to let him try to work it out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, and then
it's a tough spot to enter a game. First of all,
it's a tough spot. And then you look at somebody like Joe Flacco, who's, so much older than the other quarterbacks, but can still play the position. I mean, there's a huge learning curve for that position. And I think once you have managed the learning curve and you know how that position is played, you can play it for a long time. But not everybody completes the learning curve. In fact, most of them don't.
Right.
I mean, it takes certainly a lot of skill and hard work by the player, but it also takes a team that's willing to stick with a guy long enough to get through that curve. And I mean, the Browns are not very good. It doesn't seem like they have any reason to not give him another chance. But I mean, he was intriguing. If you watched his legs by time, I mean, it looked to me like he deserved another chance.
He's interesting at the very least. If you listen to Steve Young will tell you that most of the success of NFL quarterbacks is all pre-snap. It's how much they've learned with their mind, how much they can read the defense, they can go through their progressions, they know where to go with the ball, when to get rid of it, when to move up in the pocket, all this stuff that's mental, which is why you can have a guy like Peyton Manning after 5 neck surgeries and his arm hanging from his torso still lead the Broncos to a Super Bowl, or Tom Brady in his early 40s lead the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl when he's not even that great of an athlete, but he just knew how to play the position so well, which is also why when you hear that the Cardinals wanted to put a clause in Kyler Murray's contract that he has to study the playbook, that's an immediate full-scale alarm that, this guy's probably not going to end up being a successful NFL quarterback. And that's what Kyler Murray's been like. At times, he takes your breath away with how great of an athlete he is and throws he can make and runs he can make. But most of being successful on a consistent basis comes down to learning how to play the position, as you said.
I mean, it's a position where the athleticism leaves you pretty quickly. And it's what it's how much your head has developed and your muscle memory has developed that determines whether or not you'll continue to be successful after you're not as good.
Sponsor shout out to our friend John Bosley, the Boz. He has that cool shop in Valley Junction. Boz Prince designed the Murph and Andy logo long time ago. So many other great pieces you've seen around Iowa. You see Boz, I wouldn't say just Iowa. I've seen Boz stuff everywhere. Every time I go to Kansas City, everybody's walking around in Boz prints. Shop is full of great T-shirts, hoodies, prints that make unique Christmas gifts, and you can find his entire inventory at his online store, bozprints.com, and you can see much of his artwork if you come over here to the house and visit.
Yeah,
we have Boz prints everywhere.
Surprised at all the things that are his, right? I mean, you've seen so many of these shirts all around. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's one of that butter cow one in the background there. See the blue one with the yellow butter cow on there. That thing is everywhere. That's his. So what a great shop. You could do all your Christmas shopping there, and they'd all be unique gifts to your family.
Andy, who does 16th ranked Iowa State play in men's basketball tonight? Don't look around.
Play
don't cheat.
Cypress Hill Academy.
No.
Stonehill College.
Did you cheat? University. You know they play Stonehill College tonight?
I know that they yes. I don't
remember. Do you
exactly
know Stonehill's nickname?
I don't think it's the Stoners. The Stonehill, is it like the Wave or the?
No, it's actually a cool name, I think, for a basketball team. It's the nickname for all their sports, but
This is the basketball team just doesn't have a special nickname.
Skyhawks.
Oh yeah, that's
Stonehill Skyhawks. All right, what state? AD, you want to take a shot at this, or do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, take a shot. You have 50. You probably are guessing it's not Iowa.
No, I'm guessing Northeast Corridor.
Why?
Because it sounds like a Revolutionary War.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like an old and college, like for it to be college.
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Yeah,
They got a lot of
or
colleges.
something.
Yeah, Connecticut.
It is Massachusetts.
Nice. There you go.
Well done. Easton, Massachusetts. Is that where Marvin Hagler's from?
Probably, because
Easton,
that's what you usually know the answer when you ask a question like that.
That's not true. I'm
Is
not
that
sure
is that Stonehill?
I only ask if I'm not
Are they in
100%
Easton,
sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure he's from Easton, Mass, but he is from Massachusetts. The Iowa Hawkeyes tomorrow play. Boy, these are some compelling games, aren't they? Southeastern Missouri.
Do you know what city that is in?
I don't.
It's hard to pronounce. It
is.
is.
Is it Cape Girardeau?
Yep, Cape Girardeau.
Okay. Just came to me.
City that they're from in Gone Girl. Cape Girardeau. Actually, no,
Really?
they changed the name for the movie, but in the book, it's Cape Girardeau.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I will, I guess, for my job, watch these games. It's probably more interesting at this point for Hawkeye fans just because they're excited to see a team play defense and gets.
I don't think they're sick of. Yeah, the novelty is still there, right? I mean, you're still getting a kick out of watching Ben McCullum and Bennett Sturts and those.
Iowa State and Stonehill. That's.
You're like,
one.
Come on, let's get through this game.
Let's get to something
some meaningful ones.
This sounds like a 50-point game. Confluence official beer, Murph and Andy. Confluence proudly serving the new light lager, Old Tavern, available most everywhere. And if you don't see it, please ask for it. Now, Andy was really bragging up more today. Let's see what the More team has.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Once again, Either Or is transformed into tinsel for until through the first of the year. Great place to take family, friends from out of town, really show off. It makes Des Moines look great. All of those cool decorations, and of course the menus are fantastic there as well. 6222 Grand Avenue in Des Moines. Rest in peace, Bill Knapp. Huge name in Des Moines. Absolute
towering figure.
Monster. Yeah, huge. Founder of Iowa Realty and Knapp Properties. You see those signs everywhere. One of the most influential and generous Iowans of the modern age. And he has been donating to causes, funding projects, breathing his influence into so many good things in central Iowa for decades. A huge loss here. He was 99 years old. That is a long, fruitful life that Bill Knapp has had. The namesake of Drake's Knapp Center, of course, major donor to the homes at Oak Ridge, to the Iowa State Fair, to the Iowa Veterans Cemetery, which he donated the land for. Proud veteran of World War II. He enlisted in the Navy in 1944, age 17.
Wow.
Went into the Navy. Was in the Battle of Okinawa, would have been there with my grandfather. Sponsored many honor flights for World War II veterans to fly to Washington and see the memorials. His funeral is this Thursday at Plymouth Church in Des Moines, another benefactor of another place there. He will be laid to rest on Friday at the Iowa Veterans Cemetery. Which, once again, he donated the land for that cemetery. Wouldn't be there without Bill Knapp. So many other things connected to Bill Knapp here What an incredible life.
Yeah.
Our condolences to his friends and family. Rest in peace. The Fales household has entered its annual week of no spending.
Really?
Right. We don't spend any money the entire week. We eat stuff that we've already got in the house, in the freezer.
Can you use a gift card?
You could. Yeah. I don't think we have in the past, but yeah, you could do that. You're just not
Does that
spending
go
any
against
new
the
money.
spirit of it? Is that kind of a
No, I don't
different
think
version
so.
of cash? Okay.
No. We are trying to use the stuff we've already got in the house because we have way too much stuff.
It's a great
in the
idea.
house. It is. I feel like it
I hope we
teaches the
never do it.
kids a lesson. Yeah. Nobody's real excited about it when we do it, but it feels so good to get to the end of the week of no spending. You've gotten rid of some stuff that's been in the freezer for too long. You've saved some money. Your bank account looks a little bit better. I mean, it's just and then you're going into the holidays where you're going to spend all the money that you saved anyway. From Facebook Marketplace, man, prices are going up. These come and go signs, the guy wants $900 a piece. Too much?
Well, it depends what you could use it for. If you have a bar with cool signs in it or restaurant, I could see these definitely being worth $900. But where did he get them? How does he have 3 of them?
You smell a rat? Yeah, I think, or a kleptomaniac. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, how does he get them? Could somebody make duplicates? I mean, how do you know they actually were up at a come and go? Is that explained?
No, there's not a certificate of authenticity or anything that
Right,
comes with
that's
the come and go signs, Murph. But I think he probably took them off of. He either had a connection or maybe just flat out pilfered them. But he's got them. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and it's funny with this kind of stuff. It doesn't become really valuable until most of it is gone, right? It's almost like you got to throw 90% of it away for the remaining 10% to have value. It's got to like make people wish that they had saved that thing, right? I used to have one of those. Damn, I should have saved that. But you're right. It would look cool in a bar like 25 years from now. Maybe I think now is a little too soon. But down the road, these are going to be valuable. The problem is they take up a little bit of storage space. So if you're going to save them for a while, you need to have a plan. A city in Oklahoma is letting people clear their library fines and traffic tickets as well by donating food to the local food pantries. I thought this is a good idea. It's in Chickasha, Oklahoma, through the rest of November and then all of December. People can bring in non-perishable food items to either the municipal court or the public library to reduce or eliminate their fines. All the donated food goes to the local food pantries, helping people facing food insecurity, and in Oklahoma, there are a lot of those. From the bowels of Twitter, we bring you this. Murph, you sent this in. This man was a teacher for 40 years.
I thought this was cool.
I do too. Year 2 or 3 on picture day, he realized he'd worn the same outfit as the previous year.
Yeah, he's got like this outfit. He thought, this is my picture outfit.
It was his nice outfit. He probably didn't have any money.
Yeah, then it occurred to him like, oh gosh, I wore this. I think I've done this before. Like when we take photos at the station, be like, oh gosh, I wore the same suit and tie as I did 5 years ago.
This guy just decided to lean into it though. He was just going to own it. He's like, I'm doing this every single year of my career for teaching day. It ran from 1973 to 2012. All 40 years, he wore the same outfit. It's the brown V-neck sweater with the a white spread collar Oxford with a collar wide enough that you could hang glide. I mean, that's awesome. He's changed up his glasses.
The mustache comes and goes a little bit.
Does it? Yeah.
Always has glasses. There's no doubt. You look at the first year and the last year, you're like that. Yep, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
But the mustache, I'd say, is it more mustache than? Oh, maybe there's.
I think
Maybe
he's only
there
got
isn't
1 year
anything
without the
a
mustache. I think the first year he's got no mustache, and I think he's got one after that.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. I was just comparing it to the first year. You're right. Once he goes to the mustache in year 2,
he doesn't turn
it never
back.
goes away.
Yeah, I like that too. That's good. It is time. We'll finish with this for another round of real or AI.
I love this.
Authorities are looking for a man who's been spotted sneaking into women's restrooms across the downtown area. Witnesses described him as mid-40s, about 6 feet tall, wearing glasses, a trimmed beard, and a receding hairline. Police released this composite sketch earlier today.
The composite sketch looks exactly like the male anchor who's reading the script.
Yes.
And then his co-anchor is eyeing him like, okay, I am sitting next to this guy. I'm sitting next to the suspect.
The co-anchor is too over the top for anybody to buy this, right? I mean, she's like wide-eyed, looking over at him and then back to the audience. That's kind of a giveaway. The bathroom intruder.
I think it's AI. Who
It's
puts up
AI.
a sketch behind him like that when they? It's a 2-shot. They put the sketch up. It looks
Look at her.
almost
looks.
exactly
she
like
comes
him.
up, she comes back and does the wide-eyed look.
Bathroom intruder.
I'm going AI. AD, what are you going?
Yeah, you're right. The co-anchor gives it away.
The co-anchor's too much.
I want it to be true.
Yeah.
So badly. Isn't that the case? AI it's a massive buzzkill. It's like the biggest buzzkill.
I
right?
know.
I mean, you see something, you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I
incredible.
wanted to see right now. And then
it's not real.
It's AI. And you're like, no, I did it again. That's why I don't believe pictures anymore.
Yeah.
I don't believe them. That's your more, everybody.
All right, nicely done. Great job by the whole Moore team. And it is time for ThrowDowns.
ThrowDowns. It's ThrowDowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Let's throw it down. It is powered by Heartland Tire and Auto, treating you like family in Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, Boone, and Creston, an authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Murph, this was your sound-off survey yesterday. The 12-team college football playoff has made college football better or worse?
I think better. I think it's made the season more interesting. And I include Iowa and Iowa State in that. I mean, Iowa State had a path to the playoff last year. Didn't beat Arizona State, but if the Cyclones had, they'd been in the playoff. And this year, up until the Oregon game, the Hawkeyes had a path to the playoff. So I think that keeps things more interesting, even if you go back to the Penn State game where Iowa beat Penn State, or even let's go back to 2015. I mean, Iowa's undefeated, but you lose that game to Michigan State in the Big Ten championship game, and they're out. I mean, now, same circumstances, Iowa would still be in the playoffs. So I think it's better for us. I know the biggest pushback of it is made the bowl games worse and less important, less interesting. But I'm not sure those things wouldn't have mostly happened anyway because of the opt-outs and just the lack of interest and the concerns about injuries. Bowl games time had passed. I realize they're going to keep playing them because it provides television content.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, you look at that bracket, and there's a bunch of old standbys in there. But there's also a bunch of teams that, you know, their fan base is alive and kicking right now at this point of the season because of this. I mean, a bunch of newbies, one of whom happens to be the number 2 team. But you know, this is fun, right? They're alive. They believe that anything can happen. It's probably not ever going to be like a basketball tournament, but it's, you know, this is fun. When you have more people at the table, the conversation's more interesting.
Andy, the Bears are alone atop the NFC North standings, but the schedule gets tougher, and the Lions and Packers are probably more talented teams. I'll give you 2. Which 2 NFC North teams are headed to the playoffs?
I think at this point, I'm still going with the Lions and the Packers. The Bears, you're right. I mean, they've got a meat grinder here to finish out the season. They see the Packers twice. They got to play the Lions another time. I think they've got the Eagles in there as well, and the 49ers. They've got a bunch of good teams to play. The Packers and the Lions have some problems though. They're not great. They're not great teams, and they've got they've got to play the Bears. So it'll be an interesting finish. It's a really interesting division, but at this point, I need to see more from the Bears against good teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I let me go a different way and just say Bears, Lions. I think the Packers have something really off right now. And AD, just to make your day a little better, because I know you're down today.
I appreciate it.
I'll keep the Packers out of the playoffs.
Thank you.
I don't have that power, but just for you, I'll try.
Yeah, thank you. Murphy, we talked Friday about the AI country song topping the charts. If you heard a song that you really liked and then later found out it was completely AI, would you stop listening to it out of principle?
This is a good question because you should like what you like, and on some level, how does it matter how it came together? But it does really bother me. Like, this is Breaking Rust right here, or the AI creation of Breaking Rust. Walk My Walk is the #1 country song in America right now. It's all AI. There's a song or two I still enjoy by Milli Vanilli, and that was studio musicians fronted by German models to do the music videos. And I remember how crushed many people felt when they found out, oh, those aren't the guys that are singing. But the song stayed the same. So that didn't really bother me, but this bothers me more. And I think I would, say I loved Walk My Walk. Say I just thought that song was great. I think I would be embarrassed if anybody heard me listening to it.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea.
It's like you're listening to the theme of a video game or something, right? Like that's your favorite song. Milli Vanilli, somebody did compose music though, right?
This is AI, actual music.
AI actually composed the music here, which is crazy to think. I mean, there wasn't, way down deep in the layers, there wasn't some guy at a keyboard or synthesizer putting together the notes. AI did that. So
right, and AI did it too, Andy, with an algorithm that shows what people want. Like we're going to take all these elements that make up hit songs and that people want. We're going to put them all in one. And when you listen to this song, that is what it's like.
This is lab created beef, lab grown beef to me, which is just kind of gross. And that's coming too, by the way. More of that.
All right, that's Throwdowns.
All right, thank you, AD. Don't forget speakpipe.com.
Hit the pipe.
Hit the pipe.
Yeah,
need it.
That's what we need. Hit the pipe. Leave a rant like Jens and
get on the
Ankeny
pipe
did last week.
Yeah,
Jens Jens
got on the pipe last week.
Yeah,
he got on the pipe. Follow
he
Jens.
Got on the
lead.
pipe.
Get
and
on the
he
pipe.
Hit Clive over the head with the pipe. That's what Jens did last week. If you want to hit somebody over the head with the pipe, go to speakpipe.com/Murph_Andy. Anytime, night or day, AD will pick out some rants and put them on Friday's show. Time for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD Squared.
Yeah, it's powered by Game Day Men's Health. I was thinking of that teacher who wore the same outfit for 40 years. Maybe he was in Game Day, so because that outfit fit for 40 years.
It's true.
That's pretty impressive. If you want your outfit to fit for 40 years, go to Game Day Men's Health. Ankeny, West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are.
Money on clothes. Go to
there's a Game Day. There's a
Wear
Game
the same
Day
outfit every day.
When you talk as much as we do on TV or on podcasts, you're going to say the wrong word from time to time. It's natural, and especially if it's a word that you maybe weren't planning on saying, it's kind of out of place. I can't imagine that the FS1 broadcasters Friday night for the Iowa Xavier game expected to use the words tentacles during the broadcast, and that brought up an unfortunate slip of the tongue.
They call him El Pulpo. That is Spanish for octopus. He may only have 2 arms, but the way he plays defense, they think he's got 8. Tentacles were all over the place on that one. Same.
Yeah, that sounded like testicles.
That was testicles.
That was testicles?
That was testicles. You want to hear it
They
again?
call him El Pulpo. That is Spanish for octopus. He may only have 2 arms, but the way he plays defense, they think he's got 8. Tentacles were all over the place on that one. Same.
You're hearing testicles?
Oh, yeah.
I'm still hearing tentacles.
The broadcaster voice is killing me. Tentacles all over the place.
Testicles. Maybe it was one of those where like the other guy started to, like it overlapped.
Remember when that happened?
Call him El Huipo, which is Spanish for octopus.
Didn't that happen to you once where you said you were saying something? I don't remember if it was on the radio show or on Sound Off or something, but it sounded like you said shit.
Yeah,
because somebody
else
started
was speaking at the exact same time, and it was
somebody else started to say shh, and you were hit, and it sounded exactly like you said.
Yeah,
like you dropped.
I do
the S
remember
word.
that, but I can't tell on this if it's because you know how your brain fills in the word you're expecting. I'm still hearing. Let me try one more time.
They call him El Pulpo. That is Spanish for octopus. He may only have 2 arms, but the way he plays defense, they think he's got 8. Tentacles were all over the place on that one. Oh, same.
At that time,
absolutely testicles.
Yeah,
I'm hearing tentacles. That's wild.
I got it that time.
It's like the blue dress, I guess. I'm hearing tentacle.
Testicles all over the place.
Got tentacles all over the place. Our Quickie Poll results presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
With the CFP dream dead, who should Iowa play at quarterback? Gronowski, he earned it, or Hecklinski/Brown, future. 75% want them to stick with Mark Gronowski.
And that's what will happen.
Yeah. I agree, and that's what I want to see. I want to see him play more, right? Yeah, he's been fun.
Yeah, and it just sucks you only get 1 year of him.
It does. Yeah. And he's one of these guys. Does he go all the way back to COVID? How has he played this many games? He's the winningest quarterback in college football history.
Count your blessings, Iowa. This is a good position to be in that you haven't been in for a long time. You want more of your quarterback.
Yeah. That
is
true.
Let's think about that. We're coming to the end of a season, and Iowa Hawkeye football fans are wishing they had more of their current quarterback.
That is a change.
His freshman season was 2020, and then he missed the entire 21 season with a torn ACL, I think. And then he played 22, 23, 24 at South Dakota and got his 5th year this year at Iowa.
Okay, so he's
probably one of the last COVID.
He's Dr. Gronowski at this point.
I hope so.
He's been in college for 11 years. Hey, thank you for being part of the Murph and Andy show here today on Iowa Everywhere. If you want to make it easy to get the show and the other Iowa Everywhere shows, please like and subscribe. Don't forget Overthinking with Kenzie and Scott coming up Tuesday. We're back Wednesday. We hope you are too.